think we could listen to the radio or something?
Radio? Who needs a radio? Ready, Harry? Mock. Yeah. Ing. Yeah. Bird. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
I worked too hard for your bull, Chip. What the hell is even that?
I was trying to bother you. That's what I would do. I shouldn't have done that. How's that? You bothered now?
It's not even a haircut! It's a rare form of male pattern baldness! You fools!
Who built you?
I always use an aftershave lotion with little or no alcohol because alcohol dries your face out and makes you look older. Then moisturizer, then an anti-aging eye balm followed by a final moisturizing protective lotion.
It does need to be a community decision. It reminds me of. So, all right, the Florida Panthers hockey team have a broadcaster on their local broadcasted teams or games, and he always has these funny one-liners. But one that stood out to me from 20 years ago, and I still laugh at it just thinking about it. One of the guys gets a penalty, and he goes, "Oh, that's like a bad haircut. It affects the whole family."
Well, that kind of fits into what Josh was saying. He's going to Hawaii on a vacation, and
nice.
You know, they don't. They want him to shave it off because then he's going to have the stash.
They're not insisting I shave it off. I'm admitting that it's probably best for all of us if I shave it off before the trip because I don't want all of our lovely family photos to have this in all of them because they'll just be like, yeah, you remember that time Josh tried to have a fucking mustache for a while?
Yeah, but the missing component, he just, before you got in here, Derek, is he's got Hawaiian t-shirts. So
Selleck. Gotta do the full Selleck.
I think,
in Hawaii?
In Hawaii? Yeah,
that's crazy work, man.
Yeah.
So we're compromising. So, I think I'm going to bring my clippers and maybe day one get some
go
good
to
photos
the beach
with the stash.
At sunset.
And then,
And then later on, you could be like, "Oh man, this is that. There's only 2 photos of me with this mustache because this was a clandestine trip to Hawaii that I had to take."
Yeah.
Well, 2 photos and a couple-hour podcast, and the Creep-O-Rama podcast had to live on YouTube.
Right.
You know,
forever.
Yeah, you got to make this happen. Got to make it happen.
All right. Sounds, that's the plan. we'll work it out.
If everybody gets mad, just send them our way.
Yeah. No. They don't care.
We'll fight your whole fucking family, Josh.
We'll fight your everybody.
Yeah.
This is for the stash.
Yeah.
Your friends are so
Perfect.
angry.
They get very passionate about things that matter.
Yeah. Like mustaches.
Dudes, yeah, dudes complimenting dudes.
Dudes
Yeah.
complimenting dudes.
Yeah.
Love it.
DCD, baby.
CD.
Oh,
So that segues really well into
robots.
Terminator,
The Rise of the
Terminator 3
Machines.
Rise of the Machines.
Terminator 3. Dun, dun, dun,
Speaking of beard and mustache clippers,
Mustache.
other machines that have seen a rise in recent years. I fucking tried. I tried.
Speaking of things that not everybody can pull off, Terminator 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Sponsored by Manscaped. Be a nice little sponsor.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to say it, but I kind of back them because I bought a thing, but this isn't sponsored. You want us to say that it's sponsored, you got to pay us, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they want that shout out, they can secure
But
one.
I mean, it's
sponsorship.
surprise. It's better than I thought it would be, honestly. Like I was like, oh, this is
Or
gonna suck.
Josh will shave the mustache using a Gillette razor.
Oh no, we
So-
can't. No, we can't give it a Gillette.
No.
Gillette's
Big.
got a marketing budget, Derek.
That's fair. Oh man,
I'll be honest, I don't know how to start this after that conversation.
That's the perfect.
I
There it
guess
is,
so.
yeah.
I guess
okay.
so.
Well, this is how we started.
So, who's? I mean, I know me and Justin have seen both of these, but have both of you not seen these?
I had seen both of them. I saw both of them in theaters, and I don't think I revisited either of them since.
Okay.
Derek?
I had
So-
seen 3 in theaters and hadn't revisited, and I haven't seen any of the others in the franchise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just watched 4 for the first time today.
I was
Gotcha.
surprised because I remember 3 being bad and 4 being good. Like everyone liked it and I enjoyed it. And then I rewatched them and I was like, no, 3's actually not that bad. Salvation, though,
Bro.
oh boy,
Damn it, Josh.
See,
Damn it.
I think
Not
that
Damn it.
bad, but it was definitely
It's-
not
you know
as
what?
good
You know
as I
what?
remember.
You know what? I'm going to blame the stash. I'm going to blame the stash. It's the stash.
the mustache has grown into his brain and it's
Now it's
starting
gotta
to
go.
affect
I was
his
fine with it.
decision-making.
I was fine with it, but
No,
now
you
I
gotta
think
shave.
it's
Go
taken
shave,
over.
Josh, so
I
we
think
can
it's
actually
taken
have this
over.
conversation.
I think it's taken over. I was, I think mine is totally opposite. I love Salvation mainly because you spend so long with Terminator. I mean, especially since I watched it. I watched T2 when I was like 7 or 8. You spend so long back then with hearing about the future, hearing about the war, hearing about this,
And you
what
get
life
little
is
glimpses.
like. Yeah, you get little glimpses in 1 and
Little
2 and
tiny
3.
glimpses, yeah.
So having a whole movie set in the future to see the war play out or like, the beginning stages and all these things and like the race of Terminators that are happening before the T-800s and before the T-1000s, I thought was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was great.
That part was cool. I wanted to love it. I didn't say I hated it. I just like, as I was watching, I was like, this movie's kind of a mess, and I can see
it
the
is a little
complaints
bit of
that
a
other
mess,
people have about it. I think we don't need to jump straight to Salvation though. We can talk about
No, we can talk about Salvation.
I read somewhere that it was supposed to be originally just based around what the fuck is his name? The
Kyle Reese?
No, literally one of the most forgettable fucking actors, which sucks.
Oh, yeah,
'cause he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
decent
Literally,
dude, but he's just
Sam
never
Worthington.
done anything.
Worthington,
Sam Worthington, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it
Is
was
that the guy
originally supposed to be about him?
It was supposed to be more centered around
Yeah,
his
yeah.
character.
Oh, no.
And how how that becomes the human cyborg like T-1000 or T-800 like prototype or whatever.
Yeah.
But then the studio was like, no, we need to make references to all of the old films. We need John Connor, we need Kyle Reese, we need this, we need that.
Wow.
And I get that to a degree because obviously if you're trying to bank on that nostalgia or you're trying to bank on that IP, you want it to link to it somehow. There are certain moments though, like at the end when he scratches his face and you're like, oh, that's how he got the scar. Like those little like shoehorned in references always irk me because I'm like, that wasn't necessary.
See, I didn't mind most of them in this one, but that's really interesting. That changes my perspective on this because that's the stuff that I was like, I don't know, we didn't need that. I just want to see John Connor like
working leading the not. I like that it starts out with him not leading the resistance because that doesn't it wouldn't make sense. Like,
right? Yeah.
He's just ladder. The world is just like, yay, John Connor, this guy,
right?
And like, but.
That would be a really funny movie, though. Him being like, "No, I'm your leader," and they're like, "Why the fuck would we?" And be like, "No, because you don't understand. I sent the guy back who told me I'm your leader. This is I have to do this.
This is the fourth movie, guys.
You have to prove to us why you're a leader. Be like, no, I don't. It's fucking destiny. It's gonna happen.
We knew this before I was born.
Yeah. And what's funny is that is sort of what happens in Salvation, where the general
like, talk to Kyle. He's fucking 13. I'm not talking to Kyle.
Talk to Anton Yelchin, for God's sake.
This dipshit doesn't know anything.
He's like, I don't even know, man. I just met this guy. But
get me away from him now.
Yeah, I don't know this guy. Like, it's all right. You're gonna knock up my mom in a few years.
Whoa!
She's like 13. I'm 13. What?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get out of LA.
Yeah. But now he's got something to look forward to. Like,
wait
if I can live 10 more years and totally get laid.
That would be difficult
in 1984.
It would be difficult to not be arrogant in like.
Oh yeah,
especially after
I'm
you've
the
been
chosen one, dude. Like
you've
my
been
whole
proven
life.
correct multiple fucking times at this point.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of the things I really love about these that I think kind of gets lost after Salvation is like no, hold on. We know what's going on and it's proven is really like out the window at some point. And like, that would drive you fucking insane. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, I guess I just wait for the robots to take over so that it proves me right. And then maybe people will listen. Yeah.
Right.
I would be so mad.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah. But I agree that parts of Salvation are an issue.
Yeah, it's got some issues.
It's got some issues.
I kind of figured
it's so fascinating because I figured
dude, 1 and 2
it was the other way around.
Tough fucking acts to follow.
Oh yeah.
That's some really tough acts to follow.
Two of the most iconic films in film history,
and like
ever.
Watching them back to back like this is really cemented that for me. Like sitting and watching Terminator 2 for the first time in a few years, and then really sitting and watching Terminator 3, I'm like, I understand, but also like if you weren't gonna make the good version, I don't understand they
goofed it up.
They goofed it up. And you know what? You know what? You're being kind of funny about it, and I'm with that. But also, they did genuinely goof up Terminator, where it's just like it's goofy.
Yeah. Well, they
did do a little bit in 2,
right?
Yeah,
but it was balanced by
he's
how
hanging
dark
out with
it
a little.
was.
But he's also the context of those jokes are coming off of a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not the T-800 creating jokes and being an awkward robot. The jokes are originating out of a kid that's recognizing like, hey, this is fucking funny.
Yeah.
Because he has no idea that this is funny, and I do, so I'm exploiting that. That's where the humor is. Having Arnold walk out of a strip club and then put on star sunglasses, although funny, it's kinda just like, well, here's the thing is I had a note about that where, because I did forget how many jokes they tried to put in 3. Oh my God, where, so many. And it's like, it's just decisions. It's, him putting on the glasses and then with the stars. But what makes it so cringy is when he takes it off and then goes into the car and finds black sunglasses.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute, he's a robot. He doesn't know that it's stupid. So why would he take it off? That tells me that he only puts on the silly sunglasses for my effect as a viewer, and that immediately takes me out of your movie. It should have been he puts the sunglasses on, he goes to step to the car,
wears them,
and then
and
then
dude,
if he wears it through the whole fucking movie, amazing.
That would have kicked it up to 4 stars.
That would have been fucking great.
He should have been confronted with the guy who, the driver of the truck who punches his glasses and breaks them, and then he beats the guy up, and then he finds the sunglasses in the car.
Yeah.
Something to that effect. But him putting them on and then 2 seconds later taking it off, that's like, okay. Like,
and that's the start of the movie. It started
start
off on the wrong foot
of the
for me.
fucking movie.
Yeah.
With the context of the first two, and again, tough acts to follow. It's like maybe standalone movies, I would have been able to see them through different lenses, but I just couldn't. Like, I was just like, like, this is just, especially as we're marathoning these back to back to back. It was just,
although I did genuinely crack up at the talk through the hand thing.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's goofy and funny, but it's just like, it just doesn't feel like it belongs.
No. Because at least that one I could be like, okay, he told me to talk. He told the Terminator to talk to the hand, and he's like, oh, okay,
right.
But then he brings it back later.
Yeah, that one at least makes sense.
It makes sense on the same level as part 2. But
I really felt like most of the jokes in it are making fun of the franchise and making fun of, and it's like, like, then why did you guys make this movie? Like, you guys don't. This movie is the one where you guys are like, we don't like Terminator. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, exactly. It does feel like the humor is off, or it does feel like they're making fun of their own franchise.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's what all franchises do at this point as we're diving into all these. They just kind of get
There's always an era where it just like hits that moment where
that's why I think that Terminator Salvation kind of saves it, because it completely shifts gears. It goes in a totally different direction. It gets really gritty. It becomes a war film, and it's a completely different
not a great
setting.
war film, but a war film.
But like, dude, the Terminators,
Saving Private Terminator.
But the Terminators with the fucking Gatling guns with the backpack, like a lot of the drones, the motorcycle Terminators, like they put a lot more creativity in part 4 than anything in part 3.
The only pre-gen Terminator design that annoys me is the water ones. That one's just like, all right, guys, come on.
That felt like Transformers.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, felt like they saw Transformers and they were like, hey, we're gonna put something like.
It felt like they watched a handful of movies and just kind of bunched them all together. Like, there was a lot of District 9, a lot of Matrix. There was a lot of, the whole franchise in Matrix is kind of, they're kind of paralleled, but they did feel very Transformer-y at parts.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Quick, just because you said franchise and similar shit, I want to point out that it's possible that Terminator is the current, like, is the present day for Dune in the future. Because in the Dune show currently, they're leaning heavily into this thing, like showing why one of the commandments is thou shalt not make a machine with a mind of man or whatever. Like, you're not allowed to make thinking machines. And because there was a huge war against the thinking machines that almost wiped out the human race.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. That kind of works for me. Like,
in my head, that's
we're
totally
fucked.
canon.
John Connor figures out how to win, and then he becomes the Atreides fucking lineage or some shit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Anyway,
that's fair.
What sucks about Terminator Salvation, though, is it was originally intended to be a new trilogy.
Yeah,
where they were going to start it kind of over and evolve it. And one of the aspects of that,
why I think it was going to be focused more on Sam Worthington's character, as he was supposed to lead this new trilogy.
Right.
Which, again, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't think it does
wonder
either.
if it's. Before we end, I'm going to read you guys a bunch of stuff about the books, which these two movies are essentially. All the parts from these two movies are taken from the books and just like completely chopped up and changed because of movie stuff and contracts and all that. But yeah, because at the end of these, it was supposed to be that it loops back to the beginning. Like they send Kyle, they send T-800. They send Skynet sends the fucking T-1000 and blah, 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 blah.
Well, one of the cool things that I remember Mick G, the director, talking about after they completely canned part 5 and 6.
Yeah.
One of the things that he had planned was Robert Patrick, T-1000, was going to come back for part 5, and he was going to play the scientist that created time travel.
Yeah.
So it was going to be that's one of the reasons why they modeled the T-100 off of him, because he played such a big part on time travel.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it was a really cool idea, but people had to hate the movie.
I mean,
don't look at me. I'm not the only person.
I don't think people would have hated it if it were good, you know?
Yeah. You're right. And that's the thing, is watching it this time, I definitely picked up on a lot of the issues with it, of like, there's too many fucking people in this movie, and they all try to like get a fucking,
it's chaotic.
It's way too like,
and it's also edited a little weird. Like there's a scene.
Well, you could tell that like there was a bunch of movie cut out. I found an interview with him as recent as I think 2 or 3 years ago of saying that with Mick G, where he was saying he has his director's cut of the movie that he wanted to release, but yet whatever the company put this out, I can't remember. They just refuse. And really? So it's apparently a completely different cut of the movie. Well, of course not, man. They're controlled by Skynet,
bro. After like a year ago,
I know.
That movie you made like over a decade ago that we're still mad about. Just because of fucking hell.
But one of the scenes that you could really tell was edited all to hell, or examples of how much was taken out, was the scene where Christian Bale and Sam Worthington are talking at night, and Sam is standing in like a pond or something like that, and it was whenever he was going to go off and infiltrate, and he was going to go off and infiltrate the base. They're having a normal conversation. Like, obviously, Christian Bale is a little he's a little hot. Like, he's terse. Like he's mad. Terse. He's like, fuck you, but I'm going to trust you. But fuck you, you're a robot, but I'm still going to trust you, blah, blah, blah. But so he's
I don't want to kiss you, but I want to kiss you.
Yeah. Let me see the robot dick. So there's definitely like robot.
Did McGee confirm that there's more robot dick in his director's cut?
That's a good question.
He hasn't, but if there is, maybe that'll change.
The editor's uncut, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But reminds me in Mallrats when he's talking to Stan Lee, and Stan Lee's like, Brody's just got an obsession with superhero dicks. It's like us. Terminators.
Yeah, I wanted to. I actually, while I was working, I put a lot of thought into Arnold's dick in the first film. I was going to bring
what a fantastic sentence to have.
But anyway,
Justin's drawing sketches up and fucking
just to sit around
storyboards. Hold on,
and draw pictures of dicks. But anyway, so inside that scene, they're having a normal conversation, and then it cuts to Sam Worthington, and then it cuts back to Christian Bale, and all of a sudden it goes 0 to 100, and he's diving at him, and he's like, "What are you?" Yeah, and it's like, wait a minute, man! Like, you guys were just having a normal conversation,
and also like.
That's just Christian
He already
Bale,
knows what he is at that point.
Exactly. He knows he's a fucking Terminator with live skin.
And I get that it's supposed to be like an existential, what are you? But it's like, why would he tell you now? Now he's going to be like, I suddenly understand who I am, what my place in Skynet and shit. Like,
but also, like you just said, he knows him.
Yeah.
He just had him like held up in the thing.
Yeah.
And
they've been chilling for like a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and then the
also, wouldn't he already know about that because of Arnold?
Yeah.
As a kid?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. That's a good point.
He was concussed.
He was concussed. That's true.
But then I have one of the biggest tropes in movies. I know we're just shitting all this all over these movies,
which is funny because it's one of my favorite movies.
I love that movie. But I will say I have every time I just don't understand why directors put this in the movies. It's so fucking cringy. Every time that I see a scene in a movie where you can see it
They just tell the actor, just look up into the sky and scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first time that you see Sam Worthington like come alive or whatever, and he's just like, and it's so
covered in mud.
Yeah, covered in mud. It's like, nobody does that, man. Nobody. Even if you are a humanoid robot, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's so fucking awkward. Big one of that is a pet peeve. Anyway, go on. Just huge pet
Anyway,
peeve.
go on. With
Stuck
what?
out.
I don't
Remembered
know.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, just a huge pet peeve of mine. Just don't look up into the sky and scream awkwardly. And then it goes on too fucking long. Because then like you can see you can see Sam Worthington's brain going like, I don't know what else to do. So I'm gonna run my hands over my face and then look around all weird. It's like, please yell cut. And then the director's
keep
like,
rolling.
Got
keep
it.
Rolling.
Yeah, keep rolling.
This is awful. Keep going.
It's just awful.
Yeah. I feel like I do this every episode, but I'm going to do it again. A letterbox list of movies with those types of scenes.
Oh, that's that's a big list.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a lot of them.
I think like Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, that's the most iconic one.
Yeah.
That's
the thing is that would make sense.
Scream. He doesn't scream,
doesn't
right?
scream.
He's that would give it away.
It's freedom. He's embracing the freedom.
Ah, get him.
Yeah. I can handle that. I can understand that.
Yeah.
That Shawshank gets a pass.
Okay.
But again, he doesn't scream, so it's
That's
not really
true.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, first one, Raphael.
Oh yeah, Justin. What's up now? What's up now, Justin?
That's a good
What's
point.
up-
That one
what's
gets a
up now,
pass. That one
Justin?
totally gets a pass. That one totally gets a pass.
That's a fucking sick one.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So it
Everything
gets a
else,
pass
though.
if it's a sick one.
Yeah. Everything else though can fucking.
They might
go to
all
hell.
be really dope. Just this one was bad.
Yeah, maybe it's just this bad one.
Nah, I think there's a lot more than what you think.
Start
We
putting
got to
together
make
a
the list.
Yeah, we gotta make that
the
list. Yeah. But anyway, what else did you like about it, Josh?
God. I'm being bullied.
I got a couple. I got a list of things I don't like.
I'll let Derek go in a second. I don't have enough
Nazis.
I don't have enough notes here because I was just like I was watching the movies, but I was trying to multitask, so I should have notated more. But my main concern with for Salvation, I was like, is this a prequel? Because technically, it's a prequel and a sequel. So would we call it that? That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing I've ever written down. And then and there's just so many references to the original movies, which I think is funny because, like you said, it was meant to be the beginning of a new trilogy, and it definitely feels like the studio was like, "No, you have to tie this to the original movies."
Right. When Christian Bale said, "Tell him I'll be back."
That was rough.
I wanted to smash my face.
I didn't mind the Scar thing was fine. I like a lot of them, but that one look, I love I'll be back. The first time he says it, it's fucking iconic.
Yeah.
Every time after that, I'm like, it's just like get to the chopper. Like I fucking hate get to the chopper now. I'm so over get to the chopper and I'll be back. Those
and it's not that line, get to the chopper. It's not that line's fault.
No, it's not that
it's
line's
our fault. It's all of our fault.
It's honestly,
we did it.
It's the line's fault for being too good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But what's so funny about
they hammer it. There's a spectrum. I feel like with these legacy sequels and prequels, where like Salvation's not as bad as like Solo, a Star Wars story, where every 5 minutes I was like, "Fuck, we did not need to know."
And what's interesting is I think Solo's technically a better movie.
No, and I enjoyed Solo a lot, but there was still I sprained my eyes rolling them as hard as I did.
His last name thing is still one of the dumbest fucking things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that part was easily
like him grabbing the dice
in the entire franchise.
Him grabbing the dice off of the speeder, that's nice. That's subtle. Run with it, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
but there's also off. There's also so many more. Arnold's whole career is filled with just awesome lines.
Yeah.
That why we gravitated towards those two is just kind of like put that cookie down.
Like that.
Well,
That's
oh my God,
dude.
yeah,
It's
it's his
down.
accent.
Yeah,
Bro,
Down.
if Terminator
Down.
said put that cookie down, I'd fucking lose it.
Oh yeah.
That'd be
There's
incredible. Like just
I
have
was-
Terminator referencing other Arnold movies.
like
Yeah, why hasn't the Terminator like scanned somebody and told them it's not a tumor yet?
Yeah,
feel like
or been like,
that's-
or been like easy with the hardware mods. Like there's so many good ones.
Yeah, there's one of my favorites, which I completely forgot until Dre put it in the intro to the first episode of this, is whenever he's being taken out by a group of dudes. I think it's in Total Recall, and he's just like fighting him, and then he just goes. He's like, "What the fuck did I do wrong?" And it's like, just beat them up, Arnold.
Yeah,
you're a
Arnold.
monster. Like you're giant. Just beat
Well, you
everyone
got-
up.
you-
Bro.
I think because that's at the beginning of Total Recall where he's like
Yeah.
still like he's supposed
supposed
to
to
be
be
a
normal.
timid husband,
Yeah,
and he's
that's
like
right.
a fucking the most ripped mountain you've ever seen. He's
Mr.
like,
Olympia.
he's doing-
typical fucking 9-to-5er husband.
yeah, dude, he might. I'm pretty sure he's doing that jackhammer work volunteer.
yeah. It's the same thing in Jingle All the Way. Like
Yeah,
he's supposed to be
yeah.
a normal dad that he sells
I also-
flooring or something.
I also
They put him. If you really pay attention to his wardrobe, they put him in like 3 sizes too
Yeah.
big to make him just look normal. And,
And
hide the
he's
fact
still
that he's
so
fucking
do a
giant.
fucking thing.
yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I also love the idea that fucking I can't remember his name now.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No. Every fucking time.
Predator.
Predator. I think it's so funny to me that they frame it like Predator could steal his wife from him.
Right.
Oh, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, that's it.
Oh,
yeah,
Phil Hartman.
like Phil Hartman, like Arnold is
Phil Hartman's not a predator. Phil
But yeah,
Hartman was
like-
a nice guy.
Yeah, Phil
Yeah,
Hartman.
very nice guy, very tragic. Love you, Phil Hartman.
Yeah, his
But
wife
I-
was the predator.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Facts.
Anyways, so Terminator 3.
Rise of the Machines.
But yeah, I just love the fact that Arnold is insecure that like, oh, Phil Hartman's gonna get my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's watching all those movies as kids is just like
Yeah.
none of it makes sense.
No.
At the time, it's fine. Like it's
Yeah.
Arnold. I'll watch anything with Arnold in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Kindergarten
supposed
cop.
to-
No one will notice. Super undercover.
Yeah.
Which is why Last Action Hero makes perfect sense. Absolute
Totally.
masterpiece.
Right.
God, I haven't watched that movie in way too long.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
I
watch it so you could be real disappointed.
Dude,
It's a giant piece
I
of shit.
remember,
Bro, it is
Dude,
rough.
well, I
very rough.
remember as a kid watching it like constantly. But
Yeah, dude,
I
I was
always
obsessed with
remembered
it.
that it was like it always felt way darker than the other Arnold movies that I would watch.
Really?
Yeah, because the
Really?
Noonan
Mm.
plays
With the one eye?
Fuck
fucking-
out, dude.
No,
that's
the other
Charles-
bad guy.
That's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Charles.
That's Charles
fucking,
Dance. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
Noonan plays
love
the,
that that's
the
Charles
like
Dance.
axe wielding
Yeah,
like dude
Yeah.
who murdered his wife. Or it's shit's
yeah. That creeped me out as a
some
kid.
very dark shit in that movie.
Is it the same villain in Bad Boys? The eye? Isn't that my memory is just melding those two movies together?
I don't know. I don't remember
Yeah.
Bad Boys 1. I always watched Bad Boys 2.
Yeah, Bad Boys 1 is weird.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Bad Boys
Boys
2
1
is
is great.
It's
What do you-
Yeah,
great.
no, it's
it's
good.
great. It's great.
Bad Boys 2
but
is
Bad
just
Boys 2 is
that movie, man. That's one of the that's a really good action movie.
I haven't seen Bad Boys, either of them, probably in a couple of decades, and I still could always say Mike Lowry. I don't think I've seen it in over 20 years.
Oh man, there's 4 of them now, and they're all pretty fucking
Yeah.
good actually.
Wait,
if,
you
if
haven't
you ever
seen-
want to do
I
that
haven't seen the
franchise,
new one.
we just
Yeah,
watched the
dude,
new one a
fuck
couple
it.
weeks ago, and it was fun as hell.
really?
Wow, that's good.
Damn.
That's
All right.
somewhat recent, right? When
Yeah,
did
Yeah, no, 4
It
just
came out in
out.
theaters less than a year ago, and I think it
Oh,
just
fuck.
hit Netflix a couple months ago or something. I'm probably
Really? Gotcha.
yeah, I mean, probably a little longer than that. But yeah, there's a whole sequence where they put the cameras on
That's
Will and
rad.
he's like
Oh,
throwing
yeah,
guns
yeah,
and shit, and
That's
it's so
fucking-
yeah.
intense. It's a really fucking like well shot action sequence, and it just pisses me off because it's apparently the same guys who did the Batgirl movie that got fucking buried by
Yeah.
Warner Brothers. And so everyone's like, man, watch the new Bad Boys movie and think we could have had a Batgirl movie from these people.
Yeah, I'm never going to get over that. Not only just because I wanted to see her as Batgirl, but also I really wanted to see more of Michael Keaton as Batman because he did fucking fantastic in The Flash.
Yeah.
But also I really wanted to see Brendan Fraser as that villain. Like all the shots.
Who is he playing?
Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which game?
Choice.
Yeah, I think he was in Arkham Knight.
He's the arsonist.
Yeah,
he's the one that keeps lighting all the fucking cop stations on fire.
That was such a
kind of an
pain in
idol, honestly.
Yeah, it was such a pain in the ass. But I really, really wanted to see that. But stupid.
Terminator 3.
Terminator 3.
So I will say that I somewhat enjoyed Terminator 3, mainly because I think I went into it on this watch going, okay, it's Terminator fucking 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like what you were saying, or like what you guys were saying earlier. Like we started this whole franchise off like making like genre defining movies.
Yeah,
it's done.
You
can't go anywhere after that.
It's such a drastic change in everything, like the whole fucking movie.
Now I did find a lot of the action sequences really fucking cool for an early 2000s movie.
I definitely got the feeling that movie was like, they were like, let's make a Terminator movie. Here's all the action sequences. Now fill out the stuff in between it and get us to Judgment Day.
They didn't want to do like the car chase scene kind of towards the beginning of the movie where he's hanging on
with the crane,
fucking thing with the crane,
and that's what he didn't building.
That is one of like as ridiculous as that movie is. The stunts and fucking
it's amazing.
That movie is
absolutely
amazing.
The studio didn't want to put. I remember reading Arnold saying that the studio didn't want that whole sequence in, and he just paid for it himself.
Yeah,
because
he did a lot of shit like that in this movie. Because he got a record-breaking $30 million for this role, and he got negotiated on top of that 20% of all the film's future profits.
Holy shit!
I mean, the guy made insane fucking. And just think about the leverage he had. To negotiate.
So we just put another like $3 in his pocket by streaming it this past week.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
But he's like, just think of that leverage when he's negotiating. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to do Terminator 3 without me?
No.
Like, what are you going to fucking do?
And then they tried doing Terminator 4 without him, and they were like, fuck.
They fucking CGI'd him.
And immediately destroyed his face because they were like, "This looks bad. We can't digitize his face for more than 10 seconds."
Not even his face. Like, I was less mad at his face and more mad at like those aren't his pecs.
That's not Arnold's
his
body.
I know Arnold's
He's
pecs.
not ripped.
Where's the dick?
Where's the dick?
Where's the dick? Yeah, they didn't even bother CGIing the dick.
No, they CGI'd the dick out, in fact. They added a shadow.
It kind of goes back into what I was saying earlier, or what I was going to say earlier. Future robots had enough care about robot Arnold dick to go, hey, is he going to use this dick? No? Well, then why do we need it? Well, we're going to have to do it anyway.
It's called craftsmanship.
I guess
attention to detail.
They knew he was going to arrive nude, and there was a possibility of him running into other people. And it was like, if he doesn't have one, they're going to be like, this is not a human being, or it's going to draw way more suspicion than it's just, it's a crazy naked man.
Do you think he has a
Josh?
Which is funny because I don't think anybody would even fucking pay attention to him in like LA. LA or New York or some shit. He just lands and they're like,
the rest of these guys caught that, Derek. But that's a great question.
I did miss the question. What was it?
That's a great question. Because, I mean, he's got a dick, so why wouldn't he, dude?
Why wouldn't he?
Do you think he has a butthole?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't know.
If he's got a dick, he's got a butthole.
He fucking better. He better
have a butthole. If he has a dick, he better have a butthole, bro.
Fucking better, man.
I don't know.
But see
maybe
what
it's one of
Josh
those-
explained, like literally earlier today, I was folding shirts and I was thinking, why would they send the robot back with a dick whenever you know he's not going to use it? That's weird. And then you just completely cleared that up because, if somebody caught him before he got clothes, and they would be like, well, this guy's clearly from the future and he's a Terminator.
Here's
Like,
another thing.
This dude's got no dick.
Possibly, maybe it's the most AI thing ever in that they don't know. I mean, a computer doesn't understand why we have genitalia, right? So it's just like
scanning old Playgirl images and is like, this is what naked man look like.
That's what a dude looks like. That's what a person looks like. So like there's a female and a male version. So we got to make it accurate. It's just like 3D printing skin.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think you're out of luck, Derek.
I'm out of luck.
I don't think
it has a butthole.
Yeah,
no, it has a butthole. It 100% has a butthole. The butthole might not work.
Yeah.
No, it totally doesn't work. I mean, there's
but
no,
I think he has
there's
a
no
butthole.
use.
Is it just like drawn on?
Here's what I think. I think if you went up to Arnold,
cosmetic.
If you went up to if you went up to Arnold Terminator and you were like, hold on a second, bro, and you pulled down his pants and spread his cheeks, there's gonna be a butthole.
Hold on.
Let me check something real quick.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You got a butthole, bro?
Why can't we get sponsorship for this podcast? I don't know.
Why is it so hard?
Why doesn't Gillette want
get
anything to do with
monetized on YouTube?
Holy shit.
I will say what's funny is I started watching Terminator 3 and like as Kristana Loken shows up and they strategically cover most of her body, I was like, is this when they went PG-13? And I looked it up and I was like, no, this one's still rated R.
Yeah.
So I wonder why they made that choice. And it could have been PG-13 because there's not a lot of profanity in this one, and there's just one like graphic kill.
It's an R?
Terminator 3 is rated R.
Shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
Bro, yeah, because the whole time I was like, wow, they don't show any of the kills in this except for the arm kill.
Right.
Yeah, the arm kill is the only part where I'm like, there's the R rating, and it was that part was dope.
That part's dope, but
everything
they
else
killed a
is
lot
like,
of people in that
more.
movie.
Arm kill, which refresh
Where
me.
he
The dude's driving,
car.
and he gets punched through the chest.
Oh,
she starts driving.
That's
through
right.
his
That's
fucking
right.
corpse.
Yeah, that was cool.
What I wonder, and obviously this is one of those questions where it's like, just shut the fuck up and enjoy movies, but why
have you listened to this podcast?
If they had the technology after 2 and 3, why didn't they just send those guys back to the same time? Where they were like, hey, we just sent back a T-800 to kill his mom, and he fucked up. So we're going to send you, the liquid metal guy, back to the exact same time. Can you assist him? And then they're like, oh, and now we've got this girl who's an even bigger. And now I know why she's a level up, because the second one could only make stabbing weapons because he's all liquid. She can actually generate like moving parts and buzzsaws and shit. Like, we're going to send you back. Can you help liquid metal and T-800?
Yeah.
All three of you, I think, could probably take out waitress Linda Hamilton. Let's do that. But instead, they're like, no, we've got to stagger them. We've got to send one back every 10 years. And it's like, no, you just fucking send them all to the same time.
So the way that it's
send it back to the 50s and kill her mom.
Right. Yeah. That's what they should have done.
Yeah.
That's honestly the best one.
Yeah.
But that would have been explained, I think, in the third Salvation one. Because in the books, it goes into that. Like it spans all the way up to when everybody gets sent back. And it's because they'd won. They were destroying they were in the process of destroying Skynet and destroying all the shit that built stuff. So it was just the last ones that they had left.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly. I mean,
or it could have just been like, our machine can only send you back 30 years. So once we developed this key technology, we can only send it back 30 years.
I can't remember, but that might have been a thing. Like,
dude, if we really want to break this down, if you want to get down to brass tacks, guys.
I mean, we're already talking about robot dick, so we might have. We're there.
Let's do it.
I mean, why would you build?
I think they'd be titanium tax, Derek.
Yeah. You would just do like fucking little nanobots and just like you wouldn't even see them. Just fucking. I mean, now that you don't have a movie, like it's
Can you imagine
cool little like 2 minute
the 5-minute short film where John Connor's like, what is this fucking mosquito doing? It flies in his nose and just
Yeah.
He was waving at some bug and then his brain just melted out of his fucking head. What is going on?
Do you remember those 5-second films? Remember those?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those were so dope.
Yeah.
That's exactly, this would be Terminator, 5-second film. This is John Connor with a little mosquito going up his nose and he dies. It's the end of the whole franchise. Yeah.
Oh man.
Or they would just go to like, now and turn off the internet. And then we would all just kill ourselves. Like they don't need to build any bots. They just take control of the internet and shut it down. And it's just civilization's fucking over.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Now I will say, the part that I really did like about T3 was the whole last act.
Yeah, the last third of that movie.
Yeah, I thought was really cool of how I like seeing the dots connected of how they end up surviving. Judgment Day.
Also, I enjoy how. I don't enjoy it. It's really a pain to watch it in the current climate, but the absolute stupidity of the government, but also 100% under that sort of like crunch, they would absolutely fuck everything up like that.
Oh yeah,
for sure. And I also I remember watching when we saw it in theaters, watching the missiles go off.
Yeah,
I was like, oh whoa! Like I didn't realize the impact that would have after spending at that point, 15 years watching these movies, and always wondering what Judgment Day was like. And then to finally watch it, it was like in that moment, I was like, oh shit, like this is it.
Yeah, they really did. It doesn't quite hold up for me anymore.
No.
But I do remember that initial watch of it being like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Especially to end the movie on that.
Yeah.
I thought that was
especially such a
surprising
happy
choice.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the tone at the very end is like, I'm surprised that you guys ended it on that note. And then
everybody's upset
the
that
rest of the movie.
And that's the thing is like, first off, that 100% that's wild. That
how do you guys?
You nail this part, but you miss the rest of it. But also that afterwards you get mad that like you make the movie Salvation where it's in the fucking post-apocalypse. Like, what other choice do you have?
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get it.
They could have just like done a really like a single shot, single camera or whatever, like bottle episode type character study of them in the bunker. Just like a 3-hour like limited dialogue. No actual Terminator showing up, just them surviving Judgment Day.
It just turns into like a French art house film.
Yeah.
So you think there's still robots out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Damn.
I also thought that the guy that they got to cast, or they cast as John Connor.
No,
I did not believe him as John Connor.
No. I do like that they tried to make him John Nada from They Live, because he's very like, like homeless guy who's gonna go work a blue collar job and like no one knows who he is. Like that part's fun.
Yeah,
but like
just the actor.
He just doesn't look grimy enough.
He doesn't look. Yeah, he doesn't look like he doesn't have the same smart assness.
Right.
That Edward.
They were supposed to
John
cast.
Canner.
They were supposed to cast Furlong.
Yeah,
right?
Furlong was supposed to come back for this one.
Yeah,
I think he was having
Warner
issues.
dropped them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he did that Crow movie. Or that was before this.
That was before this.
Yeah.
Man, he almost got this after that Crow movie. That's impressive.
Yeah. This one was very silly, as we had talked about. They goofed it up. But the one thing I read was apparently the opening sequence was a in-joke because during filming for the second one, when because in the sequel he walks into the pool bar or whatever, and he's like, give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. Some woman was unaware that they were filming and came into the bar and saw him standing there completely naked. And she was like, what the fuck is going on right here? And he's like, oh, it's like men's dance night or something. And he's like, it's ladies' night with all male dancers. And they just kind of laughed it off. And so when they were making the third movie, they were like, oh, he's going to show up to a similar bar, but it's going to be ladies' night with all male dancers, and that's why
that's
he'll walk
good.
in naked, and no one will really put up a fight.
I also felt like they missed. I felt like they didn't understand a lot of their own movie.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just an asshole. But I just am not catching this. Yeah, maybe. But
mutually exclusive.
If this is a part 3, the Arnold in part 3 is not the same Terminator from part 2.
Right.
Duh. So
God, I hope this goes right.
This is a small little thing, but when he gets in the car and he checks the visor, how does he know that the keys are up there? It's 100%. Not the same robot.
I have the same fucking note, bro. That is so dumb.
Data, just for us.
Data.
But the data doesn't get from the past going back to the future. No, that's not how that works.
From the Terminator that they
melted? Yeah, he got melted in molten fucking...
Dude, the cloud. It was in the cloud, dude.
Yeah. Fuck it. In 1991. It's all in the cloud. Yeah, totally.
You know what, though? They did have the fucking chip.
It's fucking Skynet.
Yeah. No, dude. Nah. No, Skynet didn't send the third Terminator guy back.
Right. He's reprogrammed.
Yeah, he's reprogrammed.
That would mean that he was reformatted and that he wouldn't have any knowledge.
Right. It just doesn't. It just
got to be some knowledge.
Right. But it's taking those little moments, kind of what you were talking about with part 4, Josh, of like, okay, do I have to sit through another reference? Like, I get it. I'm watching Terminator Part 4. Duh.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing in part 3 where it's like, it's just little moments where they're making you go, oh yeah, he did the thing from part 2.
It's the same thing, but it's references backwards instead of forwards.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I know he checked the fucking thing. He was taught to check the thing, but that doesn't apply to part 3 because it's a different fucking robot.
Yeah.
He didn't have the same experiences as T2 robot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, time travel. How do they make that work? That doesn't make any sense either.
No,
I can accept that in this world. It doesn't. That's fine.
Look, I'm a
but
big
knowing
proponent.
where the keys are and the visor.
No.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't
make any sense.
I'm a big proponent of movies having world logic. We've had this conversation before, and like time travel makes sense. Constantly making fun of your own franchise doesn't.
No, yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Those are the rules of the movie.
Yeah.
If you're a robot and you have the knowledge or the data that you need keys to start a car,
right?
Is it that much of a far stretch that sometimes those keys are hidden in certain places?
Because you didn't already establish the scene in part 2.
So, but that's the thing is he established the scene in part 2,
there.
Yeah,
which we all remember.
Right.
So after part 2, everyone in the world was checking visors for keys, and that data became common knowledge.
Of the world.
So the robot in part 3 had watched part 2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or had just Googled where do you find keys, and the Google's really shitty AI was like, everyone stores it in their visor.
Everyone.
That's where I've been putting my keys
that
since the second movie.
And his address is...
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess then you could ask the exact same thing of like, why the fuck is a robot wearing sunglasses?
Yeah.
In the first place. Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
Why is he doing that? I guess he's just doing it.
That's honestly... That's just for coolness, right? Because
it's got to be.
It has to be blocking his ocular sensors,
right? Yeah.
Or why even a jacket? You couldn't just have a T-shirt. You had to take the jacket.
Yeah.
Why
the jacket's armor.
Armor for what?
Riding a motorcycle.
It's a fucking robot.
Well, yeah, but see, I can accept.
Road rash.
Does he wear? Do they show his eyes glowing red in the first one?
Yeah.
Before he
gets
injured and cuts it out?
No.
Because I was wondering if maybe that's why he wears sunglasses, is because so you don't see.
I think he wears sunglasses because he just fucking looks cool.
yeah, for sure. Totally. Yeah, it's totally
the wardrobe. The wardrobe's
fucking great.
Yeah.
I just cringed because I looked back at my notes and I completely forgot about the scene where like he's half machine Arnold. I can't remember, the camera zooms in on his face, but it's the part where he goes, "I'm back."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to say it again later in the franchise too, so buckle up.
Oh, yeah.
He says it a few times.
I can't believe there's 2 more movies.
Yeah. I got upset because we had to push this recording, and I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to go ahead and watch the other ones. And then I was like, shit, I probly shouldn't because it's tough to talk about these 2.
Yeah, right.
Damn it, I can't get these out of the way.
Yeah. So one thing I thought, and of course, I'm the fucking guy that keeps bringing it back to like Arnold's body and how jacked he is. But
dude, he's fucking ripped.
Well, so in the third one, when so initially he didn't want to do the movie without James Cameron. And James Cameron gave him the blessing. I'm sure you guys saw that. Where he's like, "Dude,
that's
do
unfortunate."
it." Yeah, and he told him, "Hey, like, not only do it, ask for a fuck ton of money."
Right.
Yeah, and he did, and clearly got so much fucking money. But Arnold made it a point. First, he postponed or pushed off his political aspiration, his he was going to really jumpstart that. And he kind of postponed it because he was about to make $30 million and whatever the fuck else on top of that. But he said it's going to be really important for me to be just as in shape as I was in the second one. And he's 56 years old in this third one.
Jeez.
And so for 6 months, and I saw this from multiple sources, that he worked out 3 hours a day for 6 months. And he pretty much got at the exact same weight and body composition and measurements that he was in the second one.
Fucking crazy.
And you see him in the beginning, like, you see him like, God damn, he looks.
I know.
He looks just like he did
today.
in the fucking
especially watching T2 and T3 within a couple days of one another. I was I was like, geez, dude.
Yeah,
like,
but he said, because he knew the fucking dorky fans of the franchise would have been like, "Oh, he's fucking not this," And he said they were going to compare photographs and stills of the movies. Like, I can't do that. Like, I got to get fucking in the same shape.
And like, you know what, man? He's not wrong. He's a fucking robot. Like, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then apparently he had a 20-foot trailer that had a full gym in it on set and was working out throughout the shoot as well.
God damn. Yeah.
And, I mean, at 56, I mean, again, he had to have been on the sauce too, because fucking 56.
Yeah. Same with Stallone and Rambo 4.
Yeah.
Giant.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's still
giant.
He's still ridiculous.
Yeah, he's still big, but I mean, like,
Stallone, Arnold, not so much.
Right. Yeah. When Stallone did Rambo 4, like, that, he got huge.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
To be unsettling, man.
I was trying to find some info because there was it might have been from Terminator 2 or whatever, when she's like, don't drive too fast, you don't want to get the attention of the police, but then he's driving with the headlights off the whole fucking time because he's like, I can see just fine. But I was looking at the other goofs.
Good way to not get pulled over.
And they're like, when they're at the RV and you find out that Kate is the one that actually is in control, so he has to listen to everything she says. And like, why didn't he fucking listen to everything up until that point? Because there are multiple times where she's like, put me down, and he doesn't. Right. Or like, let me go, and he just doesn't listen to her.
Yeah.
But then another one that this is such a weird piece of fact, I guess. Sarah Connor dies in August of 1997, and in accordance with her death, with her will, she had many guns hidden in a casket right after her death. And after the cemetery scene at the RV,
I'm putting that in my will too.
Yeah, the Terminator pulls a Heckler & Koch UMP-45 out of the casket, a gun that was not for sale until mid-99, 2 years after it would have been placed in the casket. And I'm like, who at home was watching this movie like, wait a minute,
that's
fuck those guys.
Yeah, I gotta go to the IMDb goofs section and make sure I update this.
There's so many other.
If you have knowledge of something and you see it.
Yeah,
it is your it's your responsibility to go on IMDb and
that has happened to me. I was watching that 70s show and he was showing off his Star Wars action figure collection, and I was like, they all had straight legs in the 70s. He's showing them the reissues. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I watch a movie with my wife who's a nurse and there's like a medical thing happening.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know. And she's like, oh, fuck. And I'm just like, come on.
She's like, here's how they actually do it. She's just showing you gore.
You're like, is that not how you intubate a patient who's having a level 4? What? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. About that scene though, the whole graveyard scene is so good. There's something. One of my notes is just there's something about seeing Arnold with a minigun.
Yes.
Yeah. Carrying a fucking
that's what I was talking about.
If you ask me what my favorite image of Terminator is, it would have to be that because he has a minigun and a casket.
That's pretty
like,
dope.
It's everything I love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love miniguns, love caskets.
Love Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator.
I needed a new back piece idea. I'm going to get that tattooed on me now. I just realized that's, perfect.
Honestly, sick. Sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Just a fucking mountain of skulls.
Yeah. Oh, you got a Terminator tattoo? Which first one or the second one? No, the third.
Check this out.
Check this shit out. Oh, good shot. That's the one with the casket and the minigun.
Right. Okay, fair. That is one of the coolest images of him in the franchise. I'll give you that.
That's dope.
Yeah. Movie kind of sucked though, right? Oh yeah, no. Movie.
I just like that 2-minute scene.
Yeah.
And also, there's a bunch of guns in the casket.
Yeah.
Well, and there's 2 people in the casket at that point, right?
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he
he's
had them
carrying him out of there, which is also funny to me because I mean, maybe this was in her will as well. I don't know why, but our caskets aren't bulletproof.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
I was like,
would have died.
This is just a testament to how good they wrote Sarah Connor as a character. Because as you guys were laughing in my head, I was thinking, yeah, but caskets aren't bulletproof. But that has to mean that she made sure that the casket was bulletproof just in case. And then I was like, that's stupid. But then I'm like, well, no, it's Sarah Connor.
It's Sarah Connor.
Totally
She
tracks.
might have,
She's gonna cover every basis
because she knew exactly how it was going to play out.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, if you're already in the mindset of I'm leaving a casket full of guns,
like
then
everything has to be bulletproof.
Too, then like why not? Fucking go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Man.
So I was reading that for the role of TX that Kristanna Loken was playing, they had auditioned 10,000 women for that role.
God damn.
Jesus.
And Arnold was really pushing for China, WWF.
Oh my God, yes!
That's who he wanted.
All I ever wanted!
The studio was like, no, dude. Like, we're not casting
That's crazy. Dude, she would have been so sick. Although,
you know who they were considering?
Who?
So throughout those auditions, they were kind of having a change of heart in the script, and they were thinking of casting Vin Diesel because of the success of Fast and Furious that was just happening. And they're like, maybe we have Vin Diesel play this role.
Only if he still plays it as a girl. The boobs fucking awesome. The boobs expand, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing tonight, officer?"
China would have been fun, although
I'm in your face.
This is for family.
The Connor family.
Those train tracks over there, a quarter mile.
I can run it in 2 seconds.
Like, I'm sorry, you're too robotic. I don't know how else to say it, but you're acting too robotic right now.
And then another guy's like, I don't know though, if Vin Diesel virus got into the computer system, that might be the worst thing ever. Fuck it, maybe we should hire him.
Vin Diesel virus.
Just I love Vin Diesel.
Unironically,
but there's if you've ever ridden the Fast and Furious ride at Universal Studios, he's so clearly reading cue cards.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's all just the first take. And it's so fucking funny because he's just like they come up and they're like, oh, the cops are coming, and he turns around, he's like, they got us. they just like, and you can see he's looking past whatever he's supposed to be looking at, and he's like, driver, move that vehicle. Like,
oh my
God. Like he's reading cue cards.
You're
that
an
he
actor?
didn't even rehearse clearly. Like they held him up and he was all like, "This one, okay." Like he could play a robot for sure. Yeah,
that was a requirement. Only one take. We cannot do more than one take.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here.
Theme park ride.
I remember early days of YouTube. Somebody put together a compilation of interviews that he did in the 2000s when he was on MTV.
Find Me Guilty,
and it was over the span of like several years.
Okay.
It was every interview, the exact same response, the exact same everything.
Yeah.
And I was weird. I kind of feel bad for this guy. That was early.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
It just felt like 100% rehearsed. Like, here are some really funny story anecdotes that you can say to promote this film. Here's what you should say, and like
Stay on
it definitely feels like his publicist was like, talk to say this, say this,
do not
say
unabashedly hit on the interviewer lady,
right?
Yeah. Don't veer off of these topics.
I think Jimmy Kimmel did
suck.
it. He was talking about the movie
horrible,
"Find Me Guilty," which he was getting all these accolades for because he plays this like criminal who represented himself for something, but he had to gain like 40 pounds for the role because he had to look like this chunky Italian dude. And Jimmy Kimmel, I think, did a smash cut of his like dozens of different press appearances, and he was giving the exact same answer to every question. He's like, "Cut to me eating 4 pints of ice cream every morning for blah blah blah," and he had the same like mannerisms and same like physical tics. Like
so
he just
many
rehearsed. I'm like, does he just black out and go into press mode when the interview starts? Like, does he remember giving that answer, or is it just like press play?
Oh, sorry.
Oh God! Like,
he might be worse than others, but to be fair, a lot of them, a lot of actors they're always asked the exact same question. So it's I'm sure it's difficult to. I would suck at it. Like Vin Diesel will probably be better than me at that. Right? Answering the same questions over and over again would be. Yeah, it'd be difficult.
Yeah.
But I recall the videos of him when he was like breakdancing, Vin Diesel, when he was like 18. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
And at the same age, he's also got videos of him like reviewing toys and shit.
Yeah, dude, the Street Sharks. That's where, honestly, that's where his career peaked. That was it. That was the peak of his career. Now everything. He makes more money, but it's not creatively.
I think he excels a strong word, but I think he
so fuck The Rock and fuck Vin Diesel. We got both of the whole fucking franchise.
I'll take Vin Diesel,
and they hate each other.
I'd take The Rock over Vin Diesel.
No way.
Well, what I was going to say was that it feels like he is in his whatever whenever he's doing things that he just enjoys, like the last Witch Hunter. I thought that was a pretty fun movie.
Yeah.
It was silly, but I thought that was at least a fun fantasy
was
kind of movie.
A lot of fun.
Dude, Triple X is still
fucking awesome.
It was one of my... Dude, it starts with fucking Rammstein, which apparently that's controversial now too. But but yeah, dude, Triple X is dope, honestly. Okay, I'll take Triple X over The Rock.
Yeah. I think Vin Diesel's more likable than The Rock nowadays with everything.
I think they're equally unlikable.
What is funny though,
Vin Diesel's not everywhere.
Yeah,
you can't get away from The Rock. I haven't seen Vin Diesel in fucking years. Is he even on social media?
He's in hiding.
He's on Instagram. He just doesn't post as often as The Rock. He doesn't have a tequila brand to fucking hawk at you. So.
Yeah,
or 90
other brands.
Yeah, right. That is funny though, because you were talking about how he had just broken out with the Fast and the Furious, and that's why they were like, maybe we get this guy for the Terminator movie and he'll bring in people, because Kristanna Loken was not a huge celebrity when this movie came out, but I remember when the trailer dropped and everyone was like, oh, there's a really hot Terminator in the movie. Like, she is gorgeous.
Never felt like that.
And then she didn't really do much else after. She did Blood Rain with Uwe Boll, which was dog shit, like every other Uwe Boll movie. And then she did, I looked at her IMDb and I was like, she just does straight to DVD, like action nonsense. And then she was recently in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie that I wanted to watch. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll check that out and see how she's doing now. But it is crazy that like everyone was talking about her when this movie came out and then nothing after that.
Well, same thing. You kind of made that joke about Sam Worthington, where he was for T4, Clash of the Titans, and Avatar.
Didn't he do an Assassin's Creed movie?
No, that was he in Assassin's Creed?
No,
I think he was.
No,
that was also Fassbender.
That was Fassbender.
Fassbender. That's
but that was later.
Same guy.
Yeah,
but no, Worthington. He did Avatar, and then he did that Man on a Ledge movie.
So Hollywood really pushed him for a couple years, and then it just didn't go. He's not a bad actor. Like he's fine.
No, he's not bad.
Yeah, he's fine. But yeah,
honestly, I think it's his name. He just doesn't have like.
It might be part of it.
It never fucking sticks in my head.
You never forget Vin Diesel's name.
Fucking unfortunately,
that's a name.
But when you're thinking of Sam Worthington, you're just saying not Sam Rockwell. The other guy.
Is it Michael Fassbender?
Guy? The Avatar guy.
Avatar. Fassbender. Yeah. Fassbender.
Oh, dude, he was in Everest. Remember that movie?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
No.
God, could you imagine like this guy ever listens to this? He's like, yeah, fuck you guys. I'm like,
no, we're just saying
I'm stupid rich.
Been in Oscar-winning films.
True. Also, maybe he can come on and defend himself. I think he might be available.
Oh God. That was wrong.
I don't not like him. We watched these movies because we were like, oh yeah, this is that new guy who, like you said, he's a fine actor. I just don't think he doesn't have he had nothing like super unique about him. He didn't really pack any punch or like anything super memorable.
Give him that much to work with either.
No.
Maybe it was just a bad agent who just kept putting him in.
I just realized
mediocre movies.
Bad agent that put him in Avatar made him like $90 billion.
Honestly, that's probably why he's not doing it
in Avatar. But it's not. It's you don't see his face. He's playing this mocap version of him.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, Avatar with Zoe Saldana and Sigourney Weaver and that guy from Terminator Salvation and
that guy that was in
not Sam Rockwell.
Dead. What was it? The Dead Silence? Not Dead Silence. The blind guy horror movie.
Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Yeah, that guy's in it. He's a general.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy. I mean, it's
supposed to be Cable.
It's not.
Stephen Lang. He was fighting really hard to be Cable, and there's like a big fan push for him.
Yeah, he'd have been awesome.
Yeah,
which would have made perfect sense seeing how he was in Avatar. I felt like that character kind of would have translated.
Absolutely,
yeah. What's crazy is I'm on his IMDb right now, and this guy has not had a lull in his career, and most of his stuff is rated high. Most of the movies that he's in is rated
60 movies.
Yeah, way higher than Terminator Salvation, which is what I have always known him from.
Yeah.
I forgot that he was in that Under the
What
Banner
are you?
I forgot that he was in that Under the Banner of Heaven show.
Is he?
Yeah, he played one of the fundamentalist Mormons.
One of the more normal ones?
No, one of the guys that led the family.
Right, but one of the more normal looking ones.
Oh, well, yeah, they all kind of look the same.
Not fucking
oh yeah.
Not
okay. Yeah, we did watch that. That was good.
What a fucked up show and book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so okay, now that we're talking about Sam Worthington, so in T4, I have a note, but I didn't put in the quotation marks, so I'm assuming he says this. Does he say that he is a more advanced version of T800? I mean, that's implied, or that has to
isn't
be
he
right?
The first of that kind?
I think the computer might say that.
I think
because he's supposed to be the first one. Yeah,
he's supposed to be the prototype for what Arnold is.
Yeah,
right. But what's weird is, and again, now we're just retroactively like applying, you know what I mean, and kind of doing what you were doing earlier, Josh, where you were like, "This is just shut the fuck up and watch the movie and have fun with it." Because
he's definitely not an upgrade because he just straight up has a heart.
Well, that's where I was going. Where he can't be more advanced than T800 because he still has a heart. So that's a major weakness. But two, what's so conflicting with this is he obviously has a more advanced AI than T800.
because he
I don't
doesn't.
think he has an AI. I think it's his brain.
Well, no, just base. Well, yeah, I guess. So I mean, he still has his brain, but he's a machine. Like that's pretty.
I think it's
gnarly.
Supposed to be that like instead of an operating system, it's his brain, and then he has the parts that were replaced on him they have.
I thought it was his whole body.
Yes, his whole body, but not his brain or his heart.
And
then
I
think that the rest of the robot has like the code in it lying dormant, so that whenever he gets into whatever, it can kind of take over him. But it also clearly shows that he can just say "fuck you."
Yeah, it's just a flawed system.
Well, yeah,
yeah, it's a flawed. It's got some flaws in
especially if they're supposed to be trying to make an entire fucking franchise out of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, it goes back to the point that several of you, I think, have already made, is that this was obviously so fucking hacked up.
Yeah.
And pieces of the film were just missing. It's very apparent that pieces of the story are just not
because like you come in contact with the T-800 and Terminator 1, and obviously it's not like he's stupid, but he doesn't have human intelligence in the same way that is presented by Sam Worthington's character in T4, which is supposed to be the prototype of that. So you would, you know what I mean?
Well, I think
but if you have Sam Worthington act like that, then you wouldn't really, that would be awkward.
I think that's the thing is he's not a T-800. He is them trying to figure out how to make a robot with skin over it. Yeah.
And
because they don't actually have the tech. The other thing is he's old as fuck.
Yeah. And
he's been in that fucking morgue or whatever. He had to have been there for a while. Like, I don't believe
that was that was 2018.
Yeah.
The beginning, I can't remember what year the beginning.
Yeah,
I can't remember what year the beginning scene of his execution. I can't remember what year that was.
All of these fucking like plot holes, and specifically his part, is why it's so mind blowing to me that that's the part that was written already.
2003.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because like all the John Connor stuff makes complete sense. But all the fucking Sam Worthington stuff, I'm like, what?
Yeah, it kind of gets a little all over the place.
He must have been preserved, because they talk about that with or I guess the next movies are supposed to like reboot and not consider Salvation, which I didn't realize. I thought it was all in the same canon.
No, really?
But they discuss how Arnold's Terminator is able to age. And they're like, it's human tissue. That's why it looks so. And I'm like, so why didn't Sam Worthington age at all? Because he's been like he was terminated by the state like 20 years ago. What's going on?
And what's frustrating, and I feel like we're already shitting on the last part of this franchise, and we haven't even watched them yet. So that'll be fun. But it's so ridiculous, because I feel like Terminator sequels that take place in the future, it writes itself. Like you've laid 20 plus years of information. All you have to do is make a futuristic Mad Max movie with fucking robots.
I think it's proven that it writes itself, in that that's all the stuff that they added, and it's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just like, what do you do? How do you fucking fight against Skynet? Figure it out. There's the movie.
Yeah. I think that's that's why I love the watching the first two again. That's one of the reasons why I love those movies, are those flashback scenes in the first, especially the first film, of showing like the guerrilla warfare tactics that they had to do in order to take down these giant fucking machines. Like there's so much
running
content.
Up and fucking putting fucking explosives on them and running away. Like that shit's cool.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. And they touch on that, and they show that in 4, and it's like you guys were there. Like you're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you have just improved on that and just kept going? And everybody shit on part 4.
And then we got part 5.
And then they're like, no, we need to do something else. And then they come out with 5 and 6.
It got way worse.
And then it's like, well, you're welcome, everybody.
Have you all seen 5 and 6?
I've seen 5. And
I have put my eyes on 5.
5 is 5 is rough. 6 was not bad.
Okay.
Have you seen them recently?
I watched.
They're kind of recent.
I watched
6
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Okay, so your mustache hasn't seen it.
No, my mustache has not seen
So
Dark
it's first-
Fate. But I did. Yeah, because Genesis was 2015. And then apparently, this is one thing I didn't realize is that they're not all. What? But yeah, I didn't realize that they just kept trying to reboot the franchise.
Yeah.
So Genesis was a new thing that like ignored Salvation, and then Genesis was so poorly received that Dark Fate came out in 2019 and ignored
Genesis,
everything. It was
right?
supposed to be a direct sequel to T2, so it ignored 3 and 4 and 5.
Okay.
Oh, so that's why Sarah Connor is still alive in 6.
Yes.
Right.
Jeez.
Okay. So this might be a good time to go into the book stuff because Sarah Connor being alive in 6 is part of that.
Well, she was supposed to be alive in 3,
Yeah.
right? And then, but she was like, she read the script. She's like, I'm not doing this.
Oh, really?
Smartest one.
I got it. It's fine.
Just
So I
kill
actually
me.
I have a quote from her.
Oh,
Because sorry, James.
No, you're good.
This will take a minute or two. But so the director, Mosto, he specifically asked to get Linda Hamilton back when he signed on as director.
Okay.
And then, as they asked her throughout development of it all, she was like, so in 2001, she said, the script didn't take my character in any new directions. The film was really about turning the baton over to Sarah's son, John, played by Furlong. It's Eddie's movie and Arnold's. It was like a no-win situation for me. And then in 2009, she would say that she died halfway through and there was no time to mourn her. It was kind of disposable. So I said, no, thank you.
yeah.
At the same time, Mostow, is that his last name?
So.
The director. He realized that the story emotionally had to focus on John Connor. Sarah Connor would become kind of a third wheel in that. Linda Hamilton is too important to the franchise to stick her in as the third wheel. So then I realized, you know what? It's actually better if she's not in the movie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
I totally get that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Because it does have to, at some point, it does have to exit from her to him.
And that's the thing.
But if you don't know how to navigate that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I think that she could still be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing is I get where she's coming from. Like, they don't evolve her character because she should have been a fucking general.
Well, I think also because James Cameron wasn't there, she was very turned off from the get-go.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, like, I'm good.
So there are 3 books. Terminator 2. They're all Terminator 2 because they're supposed to be these came out before Terminator 3.
Okay.
So they're all
these comic books?
No, they're books.
Really?
Yeah, like
book
actual
books.
novel. Yeah, like
Fucking
book
books
with pages.
Fuck.
With pages.
Words on them?
So the first one's T2 Infiltrator.
Characters. Sorry.
This is important, you guys. Take it seriously, okay?
Sorry. James is talking books. We gotta listen.
I gotta talk books. This is Creep-O-Rama book club. No, I don't want to do it.
Fuck you. No, I'm like genuinely interested.
Yeah.
I was going on Amazon to add them to my wish list.
You should. They're actually really good. You'd like them.
I just got a library card yesterday. I'm gonna borrow them.
That's where I read mine from, the Bradenton Library.
Hell yeah!
Shout out Bradenton Library. Many homeless people. Terminator 2 Infiltrator explores Sarah and John's life while living off the grid. Set 6 years after the events of T2, Sarah and 16-year-old John live a relatively normal life under the assumed names John and Suzanne Krieger near a small town in Paraguay, believing they have destroyed Cyberdyne systems for good and prevented the creation of Skynet. They own a successful trucking company known as Krieger Trucking, while also being proficient smugglers. Sarah works at the company while John attends military school, quickly becoming one of their best students, gaining military skills, weaponry, and hacking knowledge. They gain a new neighbor in Dieter von Rossbach.
Damn, that's a name.
That's a name.
It's Arnold.
Oh.
This is the character that Arnold is the T-800 is based off of. A former Austrian he's Austrian, former Austrian counterterrorism operative and future model for the T-800 series. He is drawn.
It'd be weird if he wasn't.
Right, yeah.
He's some American guy.
Where are you from, dude?
Yeah. Hey, bro, how you doing?
It would be really funny if they tried to do that to Arnold. Count the character just be Austrian. And like, no, we need you to try to do your best, like, Louisiana accent. Like,
Wow.
It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme playing the American in Street Fighter.
Yeah. Like, get in my
Is this
boat.
robot deaf?
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Sorry, but the book you're describing sounds a lot like Part 6.
Don't ruin it, Josh.
Or like it sounds like it kind of ties into it because that's similar to like how Part 6 opens up.
Okay, that's interesting. Because clearly they took this is pretty much the beginning of 3, sort of, without Sarah. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he's just like, you figured everything was cool.
Right.
Well, it might be.
Right.
Keep going. Maybe I'm way off.
He is drawn to the Connors, and after Sarah tells him about the future war, they are attacked by a new T-800, created in the present by a new Terminator model, the I-950 infiltrator, Serena Burns, which I think is what's her name?
From Part 3?
Yeah, from Part 3.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's based on.
Gotcha.
Realizing that Judgment Day was not permanently averted, they attempt once again to stop Skynet's creation with the help of Dieter. They eventually run into FBI agent Jordan Dyson, Miles Dyson's brother, who is looking to capture the Connors for his brother's death and Cyberdyne's destruction, but witnesses the Terminators himself and comes to believe them and decides to help them destroy Cyberdyne's most recent facility. It's weird how that works. Like, fucking robots.
Yeah.
Fuck, they're right.
Oh, shit.
They're trying to kill me. To destroy Cyberdyne's most recent facility and the remaining Terminators. Sarah is seriously wounded by Serena as she destroys her, while Dyson looks after her and makes sure she makes a full recovery. John and Dieter flee to Paraguay once again. Dyson, however, finds out that Cyberdyne has a backup facility located in Montana and immediately informs them of this information. That's the end of the first book.
Dude, that's solid.
Dude, right. Like, that's
because the thing that I love about that story, or at least that part of the story, is a Terminator comes back and they don't have a Terminator to fight against him.
Exactly.
Like, that puts them on such a disadvantage that I would have liked to have seen them try to figure out how to survive that.
Right. And there's some really good, especially because at this point, her and John know what the fuck they are doing.
Yeah,
like
I would like to have seen that.
They've not only done this shit, but now they're fucking smugglers and shit. Like, they're just badasses.
Yeah,
and also,
it's got such potential.
Yeah, and also it's so much more like it's a book, so that helps. For sure. But like just reading it, there's some really good fights because of that. Because you're genuinely like, oh fuck, like Dieter's there some of the time, but
he's not a Terminator.
Still a dude.
Yeah, he's just a guy.
Yeah.
Jacked guy, but he's still a guy.
He's a jacked guy, and he's skilled because he's CIA or whatever.
Yeah, but he's not a Terminator.
He's not a fucking Terminator.
Yeah, he's just jacked.
He's just jacked.
just jacked.
He's not a Terminator. That's sure.
He's not Terminator jacked. He's just jacked.
Yeah, he's just jacked.
Yeah, he's Paraguay jacked.
I guess technically he is Terminator. he's technically Terminator jacked. They base it off of him.
I mean, but he's not robot jacked.
No, he's not a Terminator.
Yeah,
no. He's a Paraguay jack.
He's a Paraguay jack. All right, what's book 2?
T2 Rising Storm.
That's part of the title.
Rising Storm. It is now.
But it's so much more jacked for the second one.
So maybe I was just assuming more than there was, because the 6th one opens with them, Sarah and John, having retired to Guatemala. And that's what I was.
Guatemala.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Guatemala jacked is different than Paradise jacked. It's not the same thing, dude.
And then I won't tell you anything that happens after that.
Okay,
but it was
Less protein.
yeah. We're gonna watch those next.
That's what the
games are different.
That's what the P in Paraguay stands for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's everywhere down there.
Yeah. Just breathing and just protein.
Yeah.
T2 Rising Storm.
What was the name of that book? Terminator 2.
Which one? Book 1, book 2?
Both of them, the one you're just describing.
Book.
The first one's T2 Infiltrator.
Infiltrator.
Infiltrator. Holy fuck. Rising Storm.
The second one's Rising Storm, and then the last one is T2 Future War.
All 3 book series.
Yeah.
Are you going to buy it online or are you going to go to the bookstore?
I get it on my Kindle for $6.99, or order some hardcovers here. I'm trying to see if they're in my library app though.
All right, I'm going to start reading
another book.
one.
My list, and then I'll actually read. Yeah.
Said a few months after the events of the previous novel, T2 Rising Storm shows John and Dieter starting up the foundations of the future resistance. John traces possible recruits all over the internet, while Dieter, now this is 2003, so keep that in mind. John traces possible recruits all over the internet, while Dieter secures weaponry and supplies to live through the coming Judgment Day. Dieter has been chosen as John's guardian by Sarah while she recovers from her wounds, becoming Sarah's most trusted asset. She is taken back to Pescadero State Hospital and is transferred to a halfway house by Dr. Silberman. They kind of jumped over some shit here. And is transferred to a halfway house by Dr. Silberman. After having seen the T-800 and the T-1000 himself 7 years previously, Silberman has come to believe Sarah's story.
Right.
You would fucking think so at that point. When an undercover Terminator is watching over the recovering Sarah, Silverman helps her flee across the border so she can make it back to Paraguay, making amends for his previous treatment of her. Oh, okay. I read that right. Sarah stays at Dieter's house while Dieter and John head to Cyberdyne's backup site in Montana, alongside Wendy Dorset, John's new girlfriend, and the Resistance's first recruit. That's T3.
Okay. Yeah.
They come to the conclusion that no matter how far Skynet's creation is delayed, it will seemingly always become sentient. John and Wendy design an AI virus which prevents it from ever becoming sentient. While Wendy is subdued by Serena Burns' first I-950 clone, Clea Bennett, John mistakenly uploads the wrong program into Skynet's programming, and Wendy is killed. A distraught...
What a fucking idiot. Could you imagine?
Ass.
Could you imagine how disappointed Sarah Connor would be?
Oh my God.
Do you make that mistake
You
after
just
this
don't
long?
even tell her.
Yeah, no.
What have you been over this? Yeah.
Yeah, you make up a lie and you stick to that for the rest of your mom's life.
Wendy fucked up. She's dead. I don't know how.
I don't know what happened.
I thought it was real. I thought this was the right one.
Yeah.
Mom, jeez. He's like 30.
No.
A distraught John.
So hold on. So they're where are they at this point in the book? They're on Montana.
Yeah, in Montana. It's like a black site or whatever. I think it's in a mountain or some shit.
So he's uploading, so they're being attacked by the female Terminator. I don't know why I almost said vampire.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Bring them in. Fuck it. Fangs too.
Fuck it. Yeah.
Robot fangs.
And then he uploads a thing.
It's supposed to be an AI that they create
to kill Skynet.
To kill Skynet. It makes more sense in the book.
I'm sure.
I remember it happening and something like it's literally like 2 thumb drives and one like he just in the fucking he's trying. I think that they're fighting through this fucking mountain base, and then they're fighting and like he fucking like in order to fucking get it real quick he does it and a distraught John destroys.
So how did she die? I'm sorry, I was laughing.
It just said that she's killed.
So he uploads the wrong thing and she dies.
No, he
what was on the
wrong thing at pretty much the same time as her dying.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like she's trying to like they're in the, from what I remember, I could be completely fucking wrong. But from what I remember, they're like in the terminal room where they're supposed to do it.
Right.
The robot comes in, they're fucking tussling and shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking them up because it's a Terminator.
She's
it's not
Terminator.
Paraguay Jack, she's Terminator.
Yeah, she's just a Terminator.
Yeah. So and then in the confusion, he's like, "Oh fuck, I got it," and he puts it in real quick in a movie scene type shit. And it's just like,
you're right. Gotcha. Okay, and she dies.
And she dies. She gets. I think she's like stabs her or something.
Right.
You know how Terminator.
As you do.
Terminator.
A distraught John destroys Clea Bennett alongside Dieter, who end up fleeing the military base. As they head back to Paraguay to get jacked, John feels like the
I'm gonna choose to believe that was in there.
My girlfriend.
You can't prove that it wasn't.
I gotta get jacked.
I gotta go get jacked.
Paraguay jacked. It's the only thing that'll mend to my broken heart.
To get my heart go? He went to Paraguay.
Jacked.
He must be getting jacked.
All future Josh fucking gym tags are gonna be in Paraguay from now on.
Oh man!
The way you said that too, Josh, sounded exactly like Christian Bale. That whole fucking movie, I couldn't get over the way he was talking.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
We're gonna go to Paraguay. We're gonna get jacked.
We're gonna kill these
If we don't, we're all fucking dead.
Rachel, we're gonna go to Paraguay. Where's Paraguay? Oh man!
Fuck me! I hope at least one person at home is laughing as hard as we are right now.
Oh man!
One guy that's left 90 minutes in, still listening.
Yeah.
You know, once they get past all that other bullshit.
Yeah, this is a pretty funny episode.
You just stuck it out for
absolutely
minutes,
nothing to the franchise.
Yeah, these guys are talking about Paraguay, and I don't understand. Should they really get jacked down there? Yeah, this is jacked capital of the fucking world, man. How do you not know that? God.
All right, I'm going to try to keep reading this.
Okay, yeah, I'm like genuinely invested.
Yeah, come on, we're in this.
John feels like the entire journey was in vain. I don't know. with he himself being responsible for Skynet's eventual sentience. Meanwhile, Sarah has been attacked by Serena's second clone, Alyssa, managing to destroy it and preventing it from succeeding in his mission. I love that Sarah's like, this is not Sarah's book. She's in it quite a bit.
Right.
But for this blurb, it's just like, oh yeah, one of them attacked Sarah. She fucked it up like Sarah Connor would.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. As you do.
Yeah. And preventing it from succeeding in its mission. Skynet, however, becomes sentient and starts its process of eradicating humanity. So it ends on an upside, at least.
Yeah.
T2 The Future War. T2 The Future War shows the destruction Skynet causes around the world and its killing of 3 billion lives. The beginning of the book is like the first couple chapters are just what the fuck happens. It's like the history of the future war.
Oh, gotcha.
It's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. Skynet creates machines to track and kill the remaining humans. John has become the leader of the resistance with Sarah and Dieter. Sarah's still alive.
Oh, awesome.
And Dieter, technically.
Yeah.
Having fallen in love and married. That's the one part where I'm like, you're really gonna marry the Terminator guy?
Yeah, because she's got trauma.
I feel like that's a lot of PTSD to overcome to be in love with that guy.
And who's getting married at this point? Like,
I do think that
weddings.
I do think that there's like a post-apocalypse
that we get to file as a married couple when tax season comes around.
Yeah.
If we ever want to buy a house, it's easier if you're married.
Yeah, health insurance.
I do remember
just optimistic, Derek.
being like a little quick like post-apocalypse wedding part too.
Yeah, that's silly.
Are you ordained? You gotta be ordained. It's not going to be official.
They reprogrammed one of the Terminators to be like, "Would you take this woman to be your lovely wedded wife?"
So Mr. and Mrs. Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor, I love you.
Or Dieter. I guess she probably, did she take his last name? I don't know.
Sarah Dieter. It's like Von Hoffenstein or some shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I think she keeps Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The life between the parents of John's eventual father, Kyle Reese, is explored, with Kyle being born, being captured by a patrol unit as a child, and forced to work in a Skynet work camp. So that's Salvation.
Yeah.
The work camp is liberated by John and his TechCom unit, also Salvation. Sort of.
Cool.
They mix it around, but freeing Kyle and the other prisoners while Kyle's parents are killed. They were already dead.
Right.
John assigns his friend Jack Brock to protect Kyle, as well as becoming his foster father.
Jack Brock.
Wait,
It's an action figure.
Wait,
name.
Jack Brock is whose foster father? Okay, gotcha.
Because Kyle Reese is like, he's
a kid.
Yeah,
he's a kid.
Also, we didn't even fucking bring up the fact that it's fucking Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking
he was so good
movie.
in that. He was so good.
He's so good. Like, I'm not like, yeah, that's Kyle Reese necessarily. But I could see how he could become Kyle Reese.
Yeah, he did a really good job of nailing that. Like, I'm way too serious for a child.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna keep going.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, Star is amazing. She's so good.
She was a really good character.
As well as becoming his foster father. He grows up fighting alongside John and his TechCom unit in 2029. In 2029, as the Resistance is about to destroy Skynet's defense grid, as a last-ditch effort in winning the war, it sends back a T-800 in 1984 to kill Sarah Connor, a T-1000 in 95 to kill a 10-year-old John Connor, and the I-950 unit, Serena Burns, to 2001 to kill the Connors and ensures Skynet's creation.
From book one.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah. Once John finds out about this, he sends the volunteering Kyle back to protect Sarah from the T-800 and a reprogrammed T-800 to protect his younger self from the T-1000. Afterwards,
so all three of those are happening simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, it all happens like boom, boom, boom.
Gotcha. Damn.
Like the Skynet sends them out, and then I think they come into the room and they're like, "Oh fuck!"
Right?
Or they come in like right as it's going, or something like that.
Yeah.
But and then they're like, "Oh shit!" And then I think there's one like down or something.
Right.
Jesus, Derek just broke his whole fucking house.
Just need my desk.
You okay, bud? You need 911?
No, he's Jack. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's true. He's in Paraguay.
Just got back.
The legs are just so fucking jacked under here, dude.
There's just a fucking leg-shaped hole through this desk now. Afterwards, Skynet is effectively destroyed, and John is created by Sarah, Dieter, and the remaining Resistance members as they are relieved that the great ordeal is finally over.
Dude, wait, hold on. Read that last bit again. I was too busy thinking about Derek being Jack. I'm laughing.
Afterwards, Skynet is effectively destroyed, and John is greeted by Sarah, Dieter, and the remaining Resistance members as they are relieved that the great ordeal is finally over.
So they send the all three people back for the three or the two movies, and then the beginning of the book, and then finish killing Skynet.
Yeah,
gotcha. Damn. That's a perfect loop.
Right.
Because it's still going to happen again.
And I read that before I saw Salvation.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, I see what they're doing here.
Yeah. That actually sounds like that's a really good story.
Yeah.
Did you see what the original ending to Salvation was, though?
No.
So apparently in early drafts, this movie was rewritten like 10 times.
Yeah.
Even while they were filming. But it says in the early drafts, John Connor was a secondary character. Producer James Middleton explained, Ben-Hur was influenced by Jesus Christ, but it was his story. Much in that way, this new main character will be influenced by John Connor. So the original ending was to have John killed, but his image kept alive by the Resistance by grafting his skin onto Marcus's cybernetic body.
Too much.
Yeah,
Marcus would have then murdered Kate, Barnes, Kyle, and Star. However, after this ending was leaked on the internet, Warner Brothers decided to completely change the entire third act. So Mick G and writer Nolan did continue the Christ element of John's character, though, in which he has some followers who believe what he knows about Skynet and others who do not.
Well, I have completely turned I still like what the movie could have potentially been, but I always thought that it was Mick G's intention to make because that's kind of how he made it feel.
Yeah.
Like in all the shit that he was like, oh, it's going to loop back on itself. And like,
right.
That's totally
doesn't sound like that was the fucking, was the plan from the outset.
Yeah, that's
unless
just
it's
dumb.
Robot stretch face John Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Throughout writing, the cast and crew would watch the first 3 films and pick moments to reference or tribute, including Come With Me If You Want to Live and I'll Be Back, which is uttered by John in this film. McG found himself having to decide which ideas for references would be included and which would not. An opening scene has John fighting a Terminator on a crashed helicopter, which was storyboarded as an homage to the climax of the original, where his mother, Sarah, having broken her leg, is chased by a crippled Terminator, but McG did this to reflect the skills John learned from her.
See, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I don't mind the Anton going, "Come with me if you want to live," because it feels
that's
organic.
fine. Yeah, it sounds like something that he would say.
Yeah.
But
I also liked when he was like, if you're going to aim that gun at me, you better be ready to shoot it.
Yeah,
It's like, you fucking stole that from me. What are you doing?
Yeah. But it makes his character, or the younger version of his character, so lovable.
Yeah.
It makes you connect with him even more because he's just a kid.
Yeah.
Who's trying to grow up in a really fucked up world.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, they seemed like they had absolutely no fucking clue what they were doing whenever they were putting that movie together.
Yeah.
It just feels like it was a complete mess as far as rights go and original plans. They wanted Nick Stahl. They wanted the 2 from Terminator 3 to come back as John Connor and Kate Brewster. And it was going to be like a direct follow-up to that. And then they decided to do a significant leap forward in the future. And they were like, nope, never mind. We're going to recast them again. Paul Haggis rewrote the script at one point. But yeah, and then a bunch of other people rewrote it.
I mean, I thought Christian Bale was fine as John Connor in that world.
Yeah.
I think he did a really good job. I think that some of his lines are really dumb, and it feels like a lot of it maybe they could have done a second pass on.
Yeah. But he was also just coming off of Batman Begins.
Yeah.
No.
Isn't Salvation also the one where he had the breakdown?
Oh, yeah.
Salvation is the one where he lost.
But also, here's the thing, and I'm not trying to be like,
treat people like shit.
Yeah, don't treat people like shit, for sure. And it was shitty. But if you're in the mindset of John Connor, like,
in T4,
and
someone's fucking up your lighting,
you're gonna be in a
good for you.
Good for you.
You're a great guy. You're a good guy. But God, you're amateur.
You're never gonna work in this business again.
I haven't listened to that in like a fucking decade, and I still remember.
I don't think I've ever actually listened to it.
It's pretty. It's got a lot of good one-liners.
I don't know if it'll beat Derek's impersonation of it though.
That's pretty spot on.
That's pretty spot on.
Yeah. Most of my
a high bar.
What a funny thing to scream at somebody. On a movie set.
Good for you.
Oh man,
jeez. But I thought he did a good job as that version of John Connor.
Yeah.
And but his voice, I know you had texted that comment about his voice, Derek.
Well, it's just so like it was
left over
dramatic.
Batman.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
And it makes me wonder because I mean, Batman Begins came out in 2005, 6.
Yeah, 2005.
2005.
This
and
was right
came
around
out in
the Dark
2008.
Right. So this came out in 2009.
2009, which
and
so did
Dark Knight was
2008.
Yeah.
So he filmed both of those probably back to back, or obviously it had to have been very close. So he was, leftover Batman voice.
Leftover Batman.
But I mean, his Bruce Wayne voice was fine. Are you going to eat this
leftover Batman voice?
Yeah, but I think, it's just
$200 million budget makes Salvation the most expensive one too.
How much?
$200 million budget makes it the most expensive Terminator film to date. Still less than fucking Red One starring The Rock.
Red One costs more than Salvation to make.
Red One costs like $230 million or something.
That's tequila budget,
mainly
dude.
his
it's tequila budget.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Shooting started May 2008 in New Mexico. So, and then Dark Knight came out like a couple months. After that, because I think Dark Knight was summer of 2008.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, Christian Bale, you got to get in the mindset of the guy. He's making Batman, a lot of pressure. And then now he's got to go be John Connor in a future war. Like, of course he's going to change
in a movie that he's not necessarily like convinced on.
Yeah, he's probably angry that he's there.
Seeing people rewriting the script while he's
Yeah.
filming shots.
While
like,
he's
going into the trailer where the rest of the cast is deciding what references to make to previous films. Yeah,
Movies he probably hasn't watched.
this too. You're like, I just worked with Christopher goddamn Nolan again on a very prestigious like Batman movie that's going to win Oscars.
Yeah,
what
I just
the
went
fuck
from
do you
Heath
mean
Ledger
you're trying to
this.
decide between Come With Me If You Want to Live or I'll Be Back getting the call back in this one?
Oh my God. I'm just imagining Anton Yelchin being like, I'll be back. And then he leaves. and then fucking Worthington's just fucked.
Yeah. No wonder he lost it. Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm very excited to talk about Genesis, though. If you guys haven't,
and there's not that many jacked people in part 4.
No, that's true.
That's a very
Oh, there's no Arnold.
Because Paraguay doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's blown all to hell.
The fake Arnold was pretty jacked.
Yeah, he was.
All right.
Yeah, he was all right.
That's why there was nobody else.
He was more swole.
Yeah, he was
fucking swole.
Yeah, he was.
He definitely wasn't ripped.
No,
he was big.
Not ripped.
He was big.
Not nearly cut.
I think that that's why everybody else in the movie isn't jacked to sell fake Arnold better.
Probably. Yeah, they got to slim him down.
Yeah.
Which, is crazy. I wonder what Christian Bale had to go through coming off of his Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Like body and diet.
What do you mean I can't be jacked?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not not jacked in this.
Well, you don't really see because he's wearing a lot of tactical. That's not the Batman suit, so you can't really see. I mean, it doesn't make sense that he's jacked.
got shoulder pads and shit.
Yeah,
very.
Yeah, because he's not wearing hockey pads.
He's not.
He probably has.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
He probably has the most dramatic weight fluctuation of any
Machinist.
The Machinist to Batman Begins. Holy
I'm looking
shit,
at the photo of
crazy.
him looking at Worthington. And he's like, and he's
good for you.
He's not Batman like.
No, he's not Batman jacked.
Built.
No.
Yeah. No, he lost a lot of weight for this one.
Yeah, he's Christian Bale normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he definitely didn't go to Paraguay.
No.
Paraguay.
His transformation from the Machinist to Batman is even more crazy when you realize that he was 20. He put on 20 extra pounds that they were like, dude, you got too big.
Yeah.
And he had to lose an additional 20 pounds of muscle to fit in the Batsuit.
That's crazy.
And he was weighing like 110 pounds or some shit like that.
In the Machinist, that's fucking crazy. Dude's nuts.
He looked so bad in that movie. That was scary.
Yeah.
I wish that movie was like not so depressing.
I still have never seen it. Is it a bad movie?
No, it's not. It's not bad. It's fucking bleak.
Yeah,
it's very bleak, and you just wish it would have done better for what everyone put into making it, because it's always weird when you hear about an actor completely sacrificing as much of their body as they did because they apparently really believed in this script, and then you see the movie and you're like, this was good, but I don't think he needed to do that. Like I would rather a healthy Christian Bale and still
it honestly overshadows the fucking story a little bit. You're so like
you're so captivated by like, geez, dude,
in a fucked way, but like the story's it's good, it's worth watching. But watch it when you're ready to be happy immediately afterwards.
All right. But yeah, like that, I mean, that just goes to show how intense of an actor and an artist that guy is.
Yeah, he got down to 120, wanted to try to get down to 99 pounds, but the filmmakers would not let him.
Jesus.
How tall is he?
He's 6 foot. So it says the target weight. Yeah, the target weight to which the 6 foot Bale dropped was intended for a much shorter actor, but he insisted on saying if he could make it anyway.
Well, yeah, I remember reading about his diet for that movie. He was eating like applesauce and like something else a day, like
water, an apple, and 1 cup of coffee.
I've decided I'm not going to
the
try
occasional whiskey.
With the occasional what?
With the occasional whiskey. I feel like
now I'm going to try it.
Yeah,
that's the
I feel
Christian
like I
Bale coming
live
out.
off an apple
Okay,
and a
do it
cup of
without the
coffee a
whiskey.
day. If I'm trying to get down to my goal weight, I might do that for a couple weeks, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at
couple
the end of
weeks
filming,
that, you're
he
gonna
had
go past your. What's your goal weight?
98.
You're gonna get there fast. Just eating an apple a day.
But at the end of filming, yeah, I doubt I would live. I doubt I would make it in the gym if I had an apple and a cup of water before I
No,
left.
It's like
no,
day
no.
1 and you're like, yeah, all right, this is fine. Day 2 and you're just passed out.
Yeah,
Dead.
just dead. Like, oh, we found Josh in the gym, collapsed. But yeah, at the end of filming The Machinist, he was left with 6 weeks to regain mass for his screen test in Batman Begins, which he achieved
Insane.
through weightlifting and binging on pizza and ice cream.
He didn't even do it
That's
like
wild.
the healthy way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, fuck it.
Just needed the cal. I mean, when you're
Yeah.
that depleted,
Yeah.
you
just eat whatever you can
calories.
to get a jump start.
Well, I remember
That's nuts, though.
I have a vague memory of us discussing this a while back. Fucking Jared Leto when he did Mark David Chapman.
Oh, yeah.
That, chapter whatever movie.
Yeah.
Chapter 27.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he put on like 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what
And then
I remember
nobody
nobody fucking saw that movie.
Yeah,
I've never
no.
seen the trailer. I was like, holy fuck, that looked nuts.
I mean,
And then it just kind of disappeared.
I want to
Yep,
know
I
why
don't
they
know
were
what-
like, man, we should do a Mark David Chapman movie.
That's
That's where I'm
It's
like,
a study
okay,
on,
true
you know.
crime movies and shit have gotten too far. Like, Mark
But I
David
thought-
Chapman's not interesting.
But I thought it was intriguing. The
time.
trailer looked intriguing. I remember at the time, especially having seen Jared Leto look like that. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Right.
what
Yeah.
the
Right.
fuck? But after the trailer, this is like early YouTube era too. I feel like I remember that video blowing up on YouTube, but then never heard anything ever
Yeah.
again about it.
Yep.
Like, I don't even know.
Wait,
like,
when did
is
this
that
come out?
Oh, it was a while ago.
around the same time? It had to
Oh,
been
wow.
like 07, 08.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't fucking
Maybe
remember that at
09.
all.
Yeah, they didn't go anywhere.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
that was
I
before everybody was
remember
like, fuck
2007.
Jared Leto. That's surprising.
2007.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
before he went down this path of being.
Well, and I'm
a
still
wannabe
fuck Jared
cult leader.
Leto.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that was 2007, and I remember that.
Yeah.
But even like, was it Mac from It's Always Sunny when he
Yeah.
decided to get
Yeah.
Fat Mac? He said he was
Yeah.
just drinking ice
Right.
cream.
Yeah,
Which was the same thing. I remember
Same
hearing
thing,
of
Leto.
Leto. He was microwaving pints of ice cream.
yeah. I do that now.
yeah.
Because it's
Fucking
the
sugar.
milkshake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great milkshake.
Oh man.
Oh man.
From Terminator 3 to Great
man.
Milkshakes.
Yeah, Terminator 3 to fucking Jared Leto
To
drinking.
Jared
milkshakes.
Leto milkshake. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. Mm.
Nice.
Has Christian Bale had to do any drastic
I think
changes
he did.
to his?
I think
Has he
did
given that
do
up
one
finally?
more.
No, he did. He played.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah, I played Dick Cheney. And
That's
then
right.
in that one other movie,
Yeah, he did him kind of at the
gained
same
a lot
time.
of weight. Yeah,
And then he was
Really?
like, I can't.
I
do
think.
this
Yeah, I
anymore.
think he said that he was done doing
Yeah, because it was that
Oh.
fucking con movie.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Was it Amsterdam?
Yes. No.
No.
It was before that.
Yeah, I
Con
don't
Air?
know.
Yes, Con Air.
Yes.
He played Nick
The
Cage.
Big
Nick-
Short.
He played Nicolas Cage's mullet.
Yeah.
That's method acting.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because he
You
did
didn't
Dark
even
Knight
know.
Rises.
Have you seen that one shot where it's all like,
all
that's
bail.
all bail.
all bail.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box? My little hummingbird.
Oh,
I think we
man.
need
I
to
haven't
do an
watched that
episode
movie
on
too
Con
long.
Air.
Would
Just
we do
Con
like
Air.
a Con
Fuck
Air,
yeah.
The Rock.
I
fucking-
literally just
just
got
watched
done
The
watching
Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Such
dude.
a good movie.
Such
Such a
a
good
good best. Losers want about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Carla was a prom queen.
Yeah.
I love that there was this era where they took Nick Cage and tried to make him an action star, and he
He's just a
actually
fucking badass.
and it actually kind of worked.
Yeah.
Like, it
And
was
then
totally
watching
fine.
That one, like watching
Yeah.
that one, it's so like he's an
Face Off.
anti-action.
That's what we
And
would
Face
if we-
Off.
Face
yeah,
Off.
Face
Yes, yes.
Off, Con Air, The Rock
Yeah,
would
The
be
Rock.
a good.
Okay, we're doing it. That's happening.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. Those three movies are so awesome.
Dude, they're so good. All of them are fucking perfect.
Are they all Michael Bay?
No, Michael Bay only did The Rock. The Con Air is Don
Yeah.
Simpson, and then
Face Off
is John Woo.
The one thing that I
right.
definitely realized this time watching fucking The Rock, that is the most exploding movie I've ever seen because it is not only wait, who'd you just say?
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. It's also Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just like one of the
just
first
fucked
scenes.
up your Ferrari.
It's not mine.
It wasn't mine. Yeah.
One of the very first like screens is like something's happening, and then the entire fucking screen is an explosion.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then it goes back out with the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think they can
it's
afford
rare
to.
that you get like a good action. Those are like full on dad action movies.
Yeah.
Like the rated R,
Yeah.
shoot 'em up, crazy, like Wilhelm screams.
Yeah.
The fucking
Yeah, a bunch of them in
Yeah.
the same movie. Yeah.
just so nuts. I
I
miss
love
those.
just a subtle part of The Rock when Sean Connery steals the fucking Hummer and the guy calls him and he's like, he answers the phone. He's like, I'm only borrowing your Humvee. It's such a like perfect little Michael Bay,
Right.
Yeah.
just subtle scene. When he's singing in the shower, he's got the fucking clothesline thing.
Yeah.
San Francisco, show you where flowers.
And it's totally like way off.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you've watched The Rock, Derek?
I think the last time I watched that movie was on a portable DVD player when I was like 13, and I still know all that shit.
How do you remember that much? Because I haven't watched that movie in years, but it's definitely been in the last 15.
At that age, so there was a select few movies at that age because we used to go to Quebec for the whole summer, and I would have like a few movies, and then I would just fucking watch them the whole summer, like 3 months. And I would just watch The Rock and Con Air over and over for like an entire summer.
That's sick.
Okay,
And
so
I
that
just-
makes sense. That's why I know every second of Hard Target and Time Cop is because those were the two movies I owned on VHS as a kid. So if I was like alone in my room and I just like needed something to watch, I had 2 movies to choose from.
I rewatched Time Cop last year. What a fantastic film.
It's so good.
Still incredible.
Yeah.
I really want to do this Nick Cage watch and then get into Jean-Claude Van Damme
We
movies.
gotta do
Let's do it.
Yeah, we got to do a Van Damme.
We got to do 2 more Terminator movies first.
That's what I was about to say. But
See,
I'll allow it because that was
organic.
perfect. That was perfect.
You would do that.
real.
Yeah,
That's
no,
totally
I did.
right.
That was genuine.
Totally
This isn't a bit. I'm distraught.
Yeah. It starts raining in James's room. Rubbing mud on himself.
I just come with mud. Oh no!